Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I am here to bring you even more insight in what I'm doing. I have been selling online for 23 years. Currently, we have been in the wholesale business model, meaning that I go and I buy from regular brands and buy them at a wholesale cost, and we've been primarily selling those goods between eBay and Amazon. I said when I started this channel about a year and a half ago, we were starting to transition out. We want to get into retirement. The date right now is set for October of 2027. So what we've done in this past season is we have stopped bringing in all of the volume sales for that wholesale business. I have been very heavily involved in this resale of used goods. I started the channel a year and a half ago, whether it would be, I started the YouTube when I started the other eBay store. Those were going to be the things to move into in my retirement. But doesn't life just throw you some curveballs? So in this past year, since March of 2025, I've been in Whatnot, and it is phenomenal. The reason being, we don't want to have Amazon. Amazon, if you're not familiar, I can do a whole different episode on that. They own your time and they own your goods pretty much for when you're on that platform. So in that regard, I don't want anything to do with that in retirement. eBay, I went into eBay thinking that would be the way to do it and go into it with the used goods. eBay is great in the sense that you can go on a vacation and put it on vacation mode. The buyers there, you don't have the countdown as to how quickly you have to respond to these people when they send you a message. But it's like a big hungry machine that you must feed every day to make the algorithm happy. But the other drawback is you really can't control when people are buying from you, meaning if you're away and you still put it in vacation mode, they could buy from you if that's the selection you make, or you have to make the decision that you're not going to be selling at all. So I didn't want that. I also didn't want to own a huge volume of these goods and have to store all that stuff in my home. I've been doing warehousing for decades. I don't want to own a large volume of stuff. When I originally went into this new business, I said I wanted to turn inventory over in 3 months. That is very ambitious. Most people are based on a 6-month model. I really have found, even in trying to turn things that quickly, I was starting to get a large volume of stuff. Didn't want all that. And Whatnot came in March of 2025 and just opened my eyes to a whole nother way of selling. So this channel has been primarily going into talking about what I'm doing in Whatnot and how I'm building that model. To wrap up what we're doing in our other business model, we are in a corporation. We are dissolving that corporation at the end of 2025. We have pared down a lot of expenses when this is going to happen. It is almost a relief to get out of that. We are talking about it. We're going to really assess in the new year. We may just bring in some stuff in 2026. That is the things that are the higher volume selling, things that we more can guarantee will be gone, because like I said, the fall of 2027, we want to leave, and we're not taking anything of this business model with us. That will be the end of the wholesale business model. The regards to what I'm starting here in this new endeavor, that will be coming mine. He does not want to do anything with shipping. So I'm really going to have to make some decisions on that, because I don't want to ship. I said before, I am such a queen. I don't want to ship. So we're going to have to get into that discussion, him and I. But what I am finding is that I love Whatnot because I can get a haul in, do a show, and move it all out in that same show. And that may sound a little crazy, but here's how I've been doing it. Whatnot is a little bit of a different idea on how you think with money on it. When you hear people talk about eBay, they'll talk about, well, I bought this for $5, I sold it for $20, after fees, I was left with $15, so I made $10. You hear them talk like that all the time. You never hear them talk like what I'm going to say about Whatnot. Whatnot for me is if I get a haul of, let's say, $400 for ornaments, I will bring them into a show. I will do those ornaments, probably selling them one at a time through initially. And as the show is going on, this is all in one show, I will get through, let's say, all of them and realize, like, okay, I have sold $1,000 worth of stuff. I've already made my money from this show at this point. I may have 10, 15% of the goods left, and then I will say, let's bundle them up, and I will do everything I can to make it so enticing, whether it's 2, 3, 5 ornaments at a time. I will start grouping them up so that I can get rid of all of them in a show. It will get to the last haul, or the last bundle of the night will be whatever is left. There could be 10 ornaments left. I will put them up for, let's say, $5. People will get in this part of the night when I'm starting to bundle. Sometimes they are bidding them up to almost where they may have paid what I was asking for per item. So they just get into these frenzies. I think when I do this model, I am probably, if anything, left with 1 or 2, if that. I don't have anything left, and I have no qualms about donating whatever may be left at that point, because I know there is not a market for it at that point in time. So I look at it like I bought $400 worth of stuff. I made a $1,200 show. I am happy. I have one time to sit down, or my husband and I, to get the shipping done, get them out, and we are done. Now, I will say, I do have other items because I do buy some bigger ticket items, and I do bring in items that I know are going to be a little bit slower. I do have those because people do want to come in and they do want to see what they can expect to find. And if I do advertise it as a vintage Christmas, I want to have vintage Christmas in the shop as regular everyday goods. Meaning I may have candle rings, or I may have tablecloths, or I may have figurines or tree toppers. Some things that I know not everybody is looking for. I do give them at a good price to start out with, and I will move stuff from those items after they get showed 4 or 5 times into the buy now section of my store. All of those feed in to buyers wanting to come in and see the show, wanting to add to items that they've already purchased. I have a lot of people who will come in and just buy now shows. At a Friday's show, I had 3 buyers that only bought buy now items. They had nothing out of the show. I probably had about 8 or 9 of those people buy items out of the buy now and add it to their auction shows. I think I had 29 different orders out of that show. One buyer did have 3 orders, so really it was 27 different buyers in that show. 3 of them were just buy nows, which left me with 24 buyers out of the show, and I would say 8 or 9 of those people bought out of the buy now. So it does have a certain ideology to keep some things in. I'm going to tell you, I have 2 tubs of just buy now items, and I have 3 tubs that are the other items that are not what I consider to be the haul or the main attraction to the show. So if you look at what I have in what I'm trying to manage and maintain as far as warehousing, it's 5 tubs. 5 tubs, and then whatever I bring in for that week. This past week, I think I had 4 tubs of other stuff. That to me is manageable. Again, this is smaller stuff, so yes, you could argue that out. But another thing that you have to take consideration is I'm not doing clothing, and I'm not doing the health and beauty. And I know, like, electronics, like those things can be very competitive. A lot of people in there. There's a lot of people that do like the sports cards, the trading cards. I don't do those. So yes, there could be categories that are very competitive, and I can't speak on them. And I know there's a lot of people that post in the forums that they were disappointed because they paid $20 for something and they couldn't get people to even buy it for $5, and they can't stay in business with this model. And I can't speak on all that. I can only speak on what I know. And I will go through my stats and I will tell you why I think I'm getting where I'm getting with what I get. So this past time I did this was on November 10th. Today is November 18th. I'm going to try and do a little more frequently because this is my time, okay? This is Christmas season and that's what I sell. So I had 2,100 or 2.1K followers, and I still have 2,100, 22.1K. That, people may say, well, that you didn't get anybody. I did. I've said before that I won't get the 2.2 or 2,200 until I actually get to that number. I may have 2,103 followers the last time, and maybe I have 2,185 now. They don't give you those last kind of digits at this point in time. So I know I have more followers. I also know that I get most of my followers coming during the time that my show is up. Whether they come in and buy anything is a moot point. There will be a lot of people that just bookmark me. Maybe they can't stay, but they'd like to see future shows. I don't beat that into their brains during the show. All I do is mention probably about 2 or 3 times during the show what other shows I have coming up, and mention that they probably should bookmark the show if it's something of interest, or follow me to see future shows of what I have coming up. I had 729 reviews in the last time. I have 760. What I am noticing is, what I think is why these numbers are jumping so much. If I have one buyer that buys, let's say 8 items, there is one written review for me, but the number may jump by the 8 of items that they bought. So that's why I think I am seeing so much of a jump in those. Last time I had 8,000 items sold. This time I have 8.2K or 8,200. Again, they don't give you 8.3 until you get to that number. And that makes sense because I sold probably about 180, 190 items in Friday's show. So it does make sense that that number is what it is. Now, I can also tell you that I think the number of followers is important. I also think the timing and the frequency that you go on is very important. I have just said that I do get most of my followers, it seems like, when I have the shows. I only had one show this past week. Just didn't happen for anything else. That wasn't the only thing I did. I did a lot in Facebook groups this past week, but I think that you having more shows and is going to build your following. I think the longer you stay on, the longer that people will be in to buy. I can tell you, I see waves going on in my shows. I go on at 9:30 at night, and you can start seeing the East Coast people dropping off and then getting more West Coast people coming in. Some other things I can tell you is that I think my initial buyers that were my regulars that came in, I said in the last one, though they're not buying as much. I think either they've gotten to a point where they've oversaturated the type of product they want in their households, or they were coming in and getting the good deals, meaning they were getting maybe a $3 item, and now they have to find them very few and far between because I have more people in and they're bidding it up to, let's say, $5, and it's out of the price point that they want to pay. I can say that I may have a little bit more I can count on in the sales. Obviously, the quality of the goods are something of importance, but I lost my train of thought. Whew. That's what happens when you are over 50 and menopausal, okay? You get brain freezes. So I think I'm getting more sales, meaning I had like the 29 orders where I may have had like 14 or 15. I think I'm definitely seeing where I'm selling to a lot more people in a show. So I'm taking it that when everything starts growing, those things are going to expand, and the numbers of what I'm selling is just going to go up. I don't have people, I have once in a while they'll get into some really crazy bidding wars, but I don't see some of the things I'm seeing in the other platforms where people were buying like a roll of ribbon for like $5 and then paying shipping. I'm thinking I could get that at like Hobby Lobby for that price, but whatever that may be. I think it definitely involves the higher the number of followers you have, the higher numbers of sales that you're going to get. And it's just going to take time. It takes time, whether it's the frequency of how many shows you do or how long you're staying on each show. The other thing that I'm noticing is that the number of followers, I think I said was 2.1. I think I'm in a transition period where I think I'm probably not going to see a huge bump until I get to 5,000. I would love to get to 3,000 by the end of the year, but I think once I get to 5, I'm going to start seeing different opportunities open up for me as well. That's my thought. We will report back on what I see for that. My other thing, again, is I am still facing that problem of how to find a huge volume of inventory. I mentioned come January that we're probably going to be transitioning into doing some stuff at estate sales. So I'm also trying to figure out how to also broaden the horizon of items that we order. So we shall see. I will be back next week, hopefully, to talk about, we have several shows scheduled for this coming week. I do have one for tonight. I'm going to do that knick-knack show that I wanted to do last week tomorrow. That is the one where I said it is basically just all of the stuff that I've gotten in these hauls that I've either just felt needed to go and be donated, or they were items that have really been around for a while and have not moved. So this is going to be like that last chance clearance show. I may only make $100 to $200, but I'm usually on for 2 hours, and I feel that this is stuff I've already made my money off of the rest of the stuff I got in that haul, and if I can just get back $50 an hour on being online, that's fine with me. So, and then we have, I think I have 4 shows scheduled by Regular Vintage. Yes, I have another theme show on Thursday, and then I haven't scheduled the following week. That'll be the week of Thanksgiving. Some of the other things I'm really looking to venture into is, what do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do at my retirement? I got some ideas. So we'll save those for maybe the next episode. What do I want to do when I get big? What do I want to do when I grow up and I be a big girl? We'll see. Hopefully you will hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you will have liked the content by hitting the thumbs up down below. Leave me some comments. Let me know if you are on the Whatnot platform, if you're experiencing any growth, or if you have anything more to add to this discussion. I'm going to say bye for today, and we will see you in the next episode.